All right. So in the previous sessions, basically what we have learned is how to get uh, data from table and copy it into a property, then show it on the screen. Table from a table using read-only data page. Then we learned about sorry, table. Then we learned about how do we create a new record, create a new customer record using savable data page. But these all basically needed us to copy the data to or from property. We always use the to and from property. Okay. In the read only, we copied to the property. In the savable, we copied from the property, the customer property. Can we not just directly get the data without copying in the property, see it, and if need be, we can edit it and save it back? That's what I'm going to talk about. First use case today is that um, how to get data from database table, again using savable because we want to save it back. The table using savable data page and then save it back. And this time, by the way, this time we are not copying the table data in property, because property will be stored in the case, so there is duplication of data. There is data in the property as well as in other table. We don't want to do that. We will explain it further. So let me show you how things are there, and we will basically begin from the scratch again. So this is the case type. This is the case type. This is the process that we have. This process has this flow action. This is doing every work. The flow action is showing you this screen apply, and this is where basically we are getting the customer ID here, and then getting the data from um, the table or whatever we are doing, and then basically we are running a data transform. Remember, this data transform is copying the data from data page. This data transform is copying the data from the data page to property, and that's what the property is what we are using to render this section to display the record from the customer property. I'm going to leave this setting as it is. Oh no, don't, let's not confuse it. I'm going to remove this section, okay, entirely. And I'm going to remove this data transform as well. So it is not going to get the data from the data page and then display you here, okay? In fact, there is a savable data page we can use. I will show you that was set up when we set it up. So this is basically Pega creates a savable data page. It's a page structure. It uses the lookup to get the data. It is for the existing records. It uses the lookup just like how we did in the read only, and then it saves. You need to provide the, of course, primary key as a parameter so that it can use the same primary key to look into the database table and get the record. And then when you save it, it will save it back. So earlier, we are still going to embed the section, but we are not going to use the property. We are directly going to leverage this data transform data page, which is again from the customer class. So we can use the customer class section. So embed the section. And earlier we used clipboard page and we said dot customer. Remember from the first session or second, and then we said B3 data customer, right? And we use that section. This is how we did it. Now, this time I'm going to use the data page. And the name of the data page is D underscore customer savable. That is the one that was set up as soon as you set up the data class. Pega automatically set up three data pages: one savable, one list of customer, and one read-only data page. Okay. Anyway, we are going to reuse that savable, and then it needs to have the value. Remember, this is the field. Provide your CID. This has the customer ID. I'm sending that customer ID as a parameter. This customer ID value will be used to fetch the record in this table, and that's exactly what is going to be displayed by this section. This section will display the data of its base. Earlier it was property, now it's a data page, so it will display the data from the data page. Whatever changes will you make on the section, that will directly reflect on this data page. Remember, this is for existing only, not for new. So this should be rendered only when visibility expression. This should be rendered only when new customer is no. For the yes, we will deal differently. Okay, let's see how does it work. No, and just 001. See, this at this point of time, if you look at the clipboard, we did not copy anything in the customer, so customer page will not exist, or might have initialized. See, the customer page does not exist. This is the savable data page, something that you can edit, so it will come on top. D underscore customer savable. See, now whatever changes you will make, so customer one, I'm going to make a change here. In the first name I'm going to say Mahesh, in the second name I'm going to say Mishra. Okay, and this is the update now I'm doing. Remember, I still haven't issued a save command. This data page I'm using, so this has to be saved. Currently the flow is going to save nothing. If it is not a new customer, it is old customer, it is going to do nothing. So if you submit, nothing will happen in the database. If you look at the customer one data, it will still be whatever it was earlier. See, customer one only. Now this flow action, when we are running this is displaying the section. In the section we got the ability to get the data from the table and edit it. Then when we reach to the post processing, we already have the data, updated data available in this database. So this time we do not need to go to the flow. We can edit the flow to add that logic. By the way, I can save the new database, the savable one here, or I can directly update the savable. Remember, I don't need the post dt this time. Post dt is for new only, right? Anyway, this is for the new customer, right? This is, I'm talking about old customer. An old customer, the screen itself is modifying the data directly into the data page. So data page is available with updated record. I can directly save here from the under the flow action itself, and D underscore customer savable. Okay, but this should only be saved when it is not a new customer. Otherwise this will not have any value, right, if it is new customer. So what was that? So this should be done. Okay, there is a problem with this one. This only accept when rule. Okay, so this is only when rule. When rule is a predefined condition. So I will create a when rule is old cust. This is just a condition, pre-stored condition. When rule we call them. Let's create is old cust. This is going to be old customer. This is a when rule that we are creating. This is going to be old customer only when the is new customer value is no. So predefined condition, you can select the property, but let's just go to the advanced, that will give you more control. Come on. Okay, so I will say when the value of is no customer is no, then it is old, then it will be true. Okay, good. So I'm using this when condition. When it is old customer, then I'm directly saving this data. Okay, I got it. Then I'm direct. Oh, my bad. Old customer database d underscore customer savable. Right. And the CID is going to, this needs a parameter, so this is CID only. All right. So this will save the data page when it is old customer. For the new one, of course, we remove the section, so we will have to handle that because new one is being copied from the from the property. The property used to has that section. Now we removed it, so we will talk about the new one later. Let's see the old one. Let's see if it is working now. We will save this flow action too, and let's create a new case. Okay, this again I'm going to update it. Mahesh one only. That's it. I'm going to update the first name. Submit. Come back to the table. This must have been updated. See, the first name is got updated. Now this is for the no old one. Remember, you again have another data page that you created yesterday for new customer savable. This is also can be used same way to display same section but into a different data page when it is a new customer. So embed one more section again using the data page and select the data page d underscore new customer, and again we will pass the CID only. Same section will be used because it is again customer data, and display this section when it is new. Display this section when this is new. Yes, then display this section. Otherwise, the other section. Okay. So this is using a different data page for existing record. This is using a new. You already have the save logic in the flow, but you can remove it from the flow because this time again on the screen itself, the user will directly enter into this basically customer record. It will directly enter into the new customer data page. Okay, so we do not need to copy this. So also we do not need this post processing because no need to copy from customer property. We are not inserting any longer in customer property. If it is new, it will directly be inserting into the new data page, new customer data page. I can keep it as it is, it will still work, or I can remove this and save it here itself. Add one more data page save, and this should be only for new customer. Add that. Let's keep it at this point of time as it is, and let's check it. New customer. Okay, submit. All right, so new record for KD came here. Okay, same case again with the existing one. I'm going to update this user's name only. Okay, let me copy the customer ID, insurance plan, Next, we are going to discuss the validation of duplicate record. Like we can discuss that now. So, no, old one. See, value is loaded. You update something. Let's say that phone number I'm going to update to some other character 73921. So come back to the customer. Okay, 1 second. Hmm. This is the one. Let's look at the clipboard. New customer got. Oh, why new customer? Customer savable. The phone number is updated here, so should be updated here too. Oh, okay. Let me try one more time. See what's. But before that, let me check. So this is, if it is old customer, then we are customer savable is what we are using to save it. Should be fine. Let me create another case. Insurance plan. New customer. Load it. Okay. I'll have 999. Clipboard. Customer savable. The phone number is here, updated one. Good, it is there. So, okay. Maybe that was just basically commit issue earlier. Okay, so this got updated. So this is how we can insert, update records using savable data page. And this time, remember, we don't have anything in the work object. We're getting the data from a table. We are updating the back there. We don't have any customer property or anything in the work table or work class. The work class doesn't have the customer record. Yes, you do have the CID. You can always check or get the record of the customer, but the customer record does not exist here. So this was the basically motto of this session, where we wanted to see how we can, without duplicating the data, get the data from the table, update it and save it back, and now we can insert a new data, a new record in the table. This time we are not using property. We have two set of section embedded, same section embedded. It's just that the base is two different data pages, and that's where this session gets concluded.